Good evening, everyone. This is John Caldwell here with the results of All In, and man oh man, what a historic night it was from Chicago, Illinois. Let's go ahead and get right into the results. First off, we had the pre-show, 0 Hour, that was broadcasted on WGN America. Sadly, I wasn't able to watch it on television because my current cable provider decided to remove WGN, but I was able to watch it online, so that's good. All In went live at the top of the hour, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, with the announcers clearing their throats and no music. After a few seconds, the Being the Elite music kicked in, and the Young Bucks and Cody came out to do a promo. They teased pyro, and after a comedy false start, we got some Goldberg-type pyro, flame burst, and some smoke. They teased a nostalgia act, and Road Warrior Animal came out next to the ramp on a motorcycle. They brought some people to shoot off merchandise into the crowd, and we went to our first break, which was a Pro Wrestling Tees ad. The stage and entrance looked great. I really liked it. Looked very WWE-like with the main video board and supporting video boards. One interesting note, they didn't do an actual show intro, and a lot of people thought that was pretty odd. Going into the pre-show 0 Hour, SoCal Uncensored, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky defeated the ROH Tag Team Champions, the Briscoe Brothers, in a non-title match. Sky came out dressed like Apollo Creed with the American flag shorts and ring jacket. They did the worst town I've ever been in gimmick, and in a quick pre-match promo, Kazarian said the two were all in and part of history. The match kicked off with lots of all-in chants. The Briscoes were the heels and double-teamed Kazarian early until SoCal Uncensored got the advantage. Sky did the Creed foot shuffle while punching Mark Briscoe until Jay nailed him from behind to retake the advantage. The Briscoes worked over Sky for several minutes with lots of double-teaming and cutting off the ring so Sky couldn't get the tag. Eventually, Sky rolled through to get the hot tag and he cleaned house. He hit a cool spot where he was rolled through on Mark and Jay tried to attack. While still in post roll-up position, Kazarian threw a belly-to-belly on Mark. The match really picked up steam as the Sky belly-to-belly suplexed one of the Briscoes over, and after Kazarian hit a Hurricanrana. Sky swantoned over the top on the Briscoes that popped the crowd big in a great-looking spot. The Briscoes later got the advantage, but Kazarian kicked out of the Redneck Boogie. They tried a top rope version, but Sky threw Jay into the barricade and Frankensteinered Mark off the top. They double-teamed Mark on a lung blower that got 2. Briscoes hit a Jay Driller into a Big Mark elbow on Sky for 2 as things continued to speed up. The Briscoes went for a Doomsday device, but Kazarian caught the leaping Mark for a power slam for the pin, and Sky hit a big knee on Jay to prevent him from breaking up the pin in the match. That went roughly 15 minutes. The match started out like your basic traditional tag, but really picked up after the Kazarian hot tag. Sky was really impressive, and the final spot with the Kazarian power slam was awesome. Some people also commented on the production of All In by saying that it looked fantastic, but the audio was lacking a bit. While the announcers have mentioned the pay-per-view and even did a trending worldwide graphic for All In, apparently there was no countdown clock or crawler, which seems to a lot of people like an oversight. There was a lot of Pro Wrestling Tees ads and mentions though, which that's understandable. The over-budget Battle Royal was next. Coming back from the break, they did a Kenny Omega backstage promo with Alicia Atout, and they joked about her wearing flip-flops to make Omega look taller. He talked about Pentagon Jr. and the match. The audio, according to some people, was pretty terrible. This was about a minute or two, and then they went to break. They did another quick return from break and played a quick promo for the Cody Nick Aldis match, and then more Pro Wrestling Tees ads. Flip Gordon won the over-budget Battle Royal to earn a ROH title shot at All In. The entrants for the over-budget Battle Royal: Moose, Brandon Cutler, Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, Rocky Romero, Cheeseburger, Hurricane Helms, Ethan Page, Tommy Dreamer, Jimmy Jacobs, Punishment Martinez, Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn, Marco Stunt, Brian Cage, Jordan Grace, Colt Cabana, Bully Ray, and Flip Gordon. We get back from break and all the Battle Royal wrestlers on the outside of the ring. They showed Bully Ray walking down through the crowd and then cut to Dalton Castle on commentary. They didn't do a listing of everyone in the match. Ray attacked Chico El Luchador, not Rocky Romero, and powerbombed him through a table and then pulled out Chucky T, but Trent Beretta attacked. Jordan Grace attacked him, and then Ethan Page hit a huge kick to knock her out. Cabana then flew out onto Page, and everyone eventually hit the outside of the ring and were brawling. Dreamer and Gunn teased running dives, and then they just stepped for the ropes and jumped down to brawl instead. Moose ran wild for a while until the group put him on the ring apron, leading to Marco Stunt hitting a drop kick to eliminate him. Ethan Page eliminated Cutler. Punishment Martinez eliminated the Best Friends after they did their hug spot. Ramiro hit running clotheslines to Brian Cage and Gunn in opposite corners before Cage turned him inside out with a clothesline and threw him out. Cheeseburger was eliminated by Cage after hitting some offense. We then got some Cage Martinez action before both guys were chokeslammed by Hurricane Helms. Page booted Helms off the apron as both were battling, leading to Cabana hitting a butt bump to knock Cabana off. Dreamer dressed in Dusty Rhodes polka dots, which was really awesome and really touching to see, threw in a garbage can and started nailing people. The crowd started chanting ECW around this time, as you know. He tangled with Martinez and hit the bionic elbow and a Spicoli driver before being eliminated by Ray. Ray was about to powerbomb Stunt, but Billy Gunn saved him. Austin Gunn and Jimmy Jacobs then went at it, and Jacobs hit the 5-knuckle shuffle before going for the pedigree. Billy and Jacobs then kissed before Billy said, "Suck this witch," I gotta keep it PG, you know what that means, and tossed him. Austin then tossed Martinez, and while the father-son were sharing a moment, Ray tossed out Austin. Billy then hit a Faymaster to Ray and went toe-to-toe with Cage before being gorilla press slammed outside. Stunt hit a big move and then was tossed by Ray. We then got a Cage-Grace tangle, and after Grace squatted Cage, Cage got out of hit and Grace got buckle bombed. She recovered and hit a running powerbomb and then clotheslined out Cage. She then went toe-to-toe with Ray and he raked her eyes. Grace and Cabana did a "was up" on Ray, but Ray was able to toss Grace out, and it was down to Ray and Cabana. Cabana attacked with a chair, but got reversed out of the ring for an elimination. El Luchador then got back in the ring, tore his mask off, and revealed himself to be Flip Gordon. He tossed out Ray and got the win, earning himself an ROH title shot against Jay Lethal later in the show. It was a very fun battle royal with a lot of action and surprises. And that was the end of the pre-show 0 Hour. Now for the main card of All In. The first match, Matt Cross defeated MJF. Cross sent MJF into the ropes but held on. Cross did a backflip and landed in the ring. MJF sent Cross to the floor and teased doing a dive, but yelled that he doesn't need to do flips to get over. Cross hit a drop kick and sent MJF to the floor. Cross hit a crazy looking dive to the floor that had so much momentum he walked all the way back up to the stage and posed. MJF stuffed Cross's arm in his tights and gave him a gut-wrench powerbomb for a near fall. They fought on the top turnbuckle until Cross hit a hurricanrana. Cross hit a backhand spring elbow and springboard cross body for a near fall. MJF regained control with the double foot stomp on the arm. He then hit a package shoulder breaker for another near fall. They traded shots in the middle of the ring. MJF spit in Cross's eyes and flipped off the fans. Cross hit a double foot stomp for a 2 count, but MJF countered into an armbar. MJF hit a crazy looking pile driver using the ropes for a near fall. The finish came when Cross made a comeback and hit the shooting star press for the win. This was a fun opener and a good start to the pay-per-view. In the back, Sean Mooney, also known as Val Venus, interviewed the NWA World Champion Nick Aldis. Aldis said that Mooney is the greatest and that's why he is interviewing Aldis. Aldis promised to retain the title later. After that match, we've seen Christopher Daniels defeat Stephen Amell. Jerry Lynn, the former WWE Light Heavyweight Champion, refereed the match. Stephen Amell came out to the Bullet Club theme, and with one of his Arrow co-stars, Daniels came out with SoCal Uncensored. They showed John Mayer sitting at ringside. Daniels had the early advantage and took Amell to the mat and stepped over him. They traded chops in the middle of the ring. Amell took down Daniels and stepped over him. They fought on the floor and Amell sent Daniels into the barricade. Amell pulled out a table. The crowd loved Amell and broke into an arrow chant. Amell hit a Falcon Arrow for a close near fall. Amell hit the Van Terminator from across the ring for another near fall. Daniels took back over and hit the best moonsault ever for a 2 count. They fought on the top turnbuckle and Amell knocked Daniels down. Daniels ended up on the table with Amell on the top turnbuckle. Amell attempted an elbow, but Daniels moved and Amell crashed through the table. The fans chanted Broken Arrow after that. Lynn wouldn't let the match end in a count out and threw Amell back in. Lynn and Daniels argued. Lynn took off the ref's shirt and shoved Daniels, and Amell rolled him for a 2 count. Amell flipped off Daniels to a huge pop. Daniels attempted the Angel's Wings, but Amell counted for a near fall. Daniels hit the best moonsault ever for the win. And another great match here at All In. Amell looked great in the match considering it was only his third match. They shook hands after the match. On commentary, Don Callis got a message and said he's got to talk to Kenny Omega. Callis left commentary. Tenille Dashwood and Mandy Leon joined on commentary for the next match. And that match was another awesome match at All In. Tessa Blanchard defeated Madison Rayne, Britt Baker, and Chelsea Green. Tully Blanchard was shown sitting at ringside. Blanchard threw Rayne into the barricade. In the ring, Baker and Green traded pinfalls. Blanchard gave Baker a hanging DDT off the second turnbuckle. Blanchard press-slammed Rayne from the ring onto Baker and Green on the floor. Green fought back and hit a suicide dive, nailing Baker. Blanchard hit a dive to the floor as well. Rayne hit a huge crossbody onto all three women. Baker hit a series of sling blades and scored a near fall on Green. Blanchard hit a standing delayed vertical suplex on Rayne for a 2 count. Green did Zack Ryder's woo-woo chant and hit the Rough Rider for a near fall. Rayne hit a top rope cutter for a near fall. Green hit the unprettier on Rayne, but Blanchard hit the code breaker on Green. Baker hit a super kick on Blanchard and scored a near fall on Green. Rayne hit a crucifix bomb for a closer near fall. Green hit the Canadian Destroyer on Blanchard for a very closer near fall. Blanchard hit the Hammerlock DDT on Green for the win. This was another awesome match like I said earlier. After the match, all 4 women embraced and posed for the fans. The crowd really loved this match and gave them a great reaction. After that match, it was history when Cody Rhodes defeated the NWA World Champion Nick Aldis to win the 10 pounds of gold. DDP, Tommy Dreamer, and Pharaoh accompanied Rhodes to the ring. The fans loved Rhodes and gave him a huge reaction. Jeff Jarrett and Sean Daivari were part of Aldis' entourage. Earl Hebner was the referee for this match. This match had an intense amount of heat and a big fight feel. The fans absolutely loved Rhodes and despised Aldis. Rhodes hit a suicide dive to the floor, but Aldis hit Rhodes with a suplex on the floor. Aldis took over and worked over the lower back. They traded shots in the middle of the ring. They both attempted a crossbody and collided. Rhodes hit a springboard crossbody to the floor, but Aldis rocked him with an elbow. Hebner checked on Rhodes and singled to the back. They teased the match was over. DDP ran back out and the fans broke into a yoga chant. Hebner stopped the count and Sean Daivari came back out. He shoved DDP so Page gave him the diamond cutter to a huge pop. Rhodes was busted open from the elbow and started bleeding like crazy. Rhodes fought back and hit a power slam for a near fall. Rhodes missed a moonsault and Aldis took back over. Rhodes locked on the figure 4 leg lock, but Aldis made the ropes. Aldis gave Rhodes a running power slam on the floor. Rhodes fought back and hit the Alabama slam for a near fall. Aldis hit a power bomb for a 2 count and applied the Texas cloverleaf. Rhodes made the ropes and Brandy told him he didn't have to keep doing this. Aldis hit a pile driver and climbed to the top turnbuckle. Brandy came in the ring and begged him to stop. Aldis leaped off the top and Brandy covered Rhodes. Aldis nailed Brandy with the elbow. Rhodes made a fiery comeback and hit the Beautiful Disaster. Rhodes hit the Crossroads for a very close near fall. Aldis attempted a sunset flip, but Rhodes sat down and pinned Aldis to win the NWA World Championship, and the fans popped huge for the finish. I would also like to note that due to Cody's victory tonight, he and his father Dusty Rhodes have become the first father-son duo to have won the historic championship, with Dusty last winning the belt in 1986. So a big congratulations to Cody. He definitely deserves this. He has fought his way ever since he started way back in WWE, and I remember those days when he tag teamed with Hardcore Holly. Now look at him. NWA World Heavyweight Champion. The first Rhodes to hold the belt since 1986, and a part of the first father-son duo to have won that historic title. Cody Rhodes will go down in history as a legend, no doubt. You can call me a mark, you can call me whatever, but that was history. And to me, that was good for the pro wrestling business. I love seeing that. The next match, Hangman Page defeated Joey Jelena with Penelope Ford in a Chicago street fight. Page hit a perfect-looking moonsault to the floor, crashing into Jelena. Paige gave Jelena a suplex onto a chair that was upright in the ring. Paige revealed a Cracker Barrel at ringside. Hey, that's awesome product placement right there. Paige sent Jelena into the barrel. Jelena fought back and leaped off the barrel onto Paige in the crowd. Jelena rolled the barrel at Paige, but he jumped out of the way, kind of like Donkey Kong. Paige rocked Jelena with a vicious lariat. Paige set up a table at ringside. Jelena nailed a running Death Valley bomb in the corner for a near fall. Jelena used the barrel and the apron to prop up the ladder at ringside. He placed Paige on the ladder and climbed up to the turnbuckle. Paige recovered and gave Jelena the burning hammer on the ladder. This was a painful and sick-looking spot. Paige pulled out a bag from underneath the ring. Ford jumped Paige from behind. Paige tried to go after him, but she backflipped and hit a stunner. She followed that up with a crossbody to the floor. Jelena then hit an elbow on Paige through the table. They fought up the steps onto the stage. Jelena set up 2 tables in the entranceway. Paige hit a super kick and powerbombed Jelena off the stage through the table. It looked like Jelena nearly killed himself going through the table there. Paige hit the rite of passage, but Ford broke up the near fall with a second garbage bag. In the second bag were Paige's boots that he used to kill Joey Ryan. Paige super kicked Ford. Jelena hit a super kick as well for a near fall. Jelena set up a ladder and table in the ring. Paige and Jelena fought on top of the ladder. In the first garbage bag was the telephone Paige used on Ryan. Paige hit Jelena with the phone and hit the rite of passage off the ladder through the table for the win. After the match, some lights went out and a video of a dead Joey Ryan played. Ryan was clearly alive because something rose in his pants. And I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but use your imagination. Joey Ryan came out of nowhere with guys in inflated penis costumes. Ryan flipped Paige and nailed him with the super kick. Ryan's entourage then carried Paige out of the arena. In the back, ROH World Champion Jay Lethal was on his way to the ring. He was handed black machismo glasses. And in that, the ROH World Champion, the Black Machismo Jay Lethal with Leaping Lanny Poffo, deleted Flip Gordon with Brandy Rhodes. Lethal and Poffo did the Mega Destroyers handshake at the start of the match, which was really cool to see. Lethal and Gordon did the handshake as well. At the start of the match, Lethal jumped out of the ring and placed Rhodes in his corner. Lethal and Gordon went back and forth trading moves. Lethal chased Brandy into the ring and she yelled, "I'm not Liz." She touched him on his shoulder and turned him back into normal Jay Lethal. Gordon hit 2 suicide dives and a corkscrew dive. They traded pinfall attempts in the middle of the ring. Gordon missed a 450 splash and Lethal hit the Lethal combination for a near fall. Lethal attempted the Lethal injection but Gordon rolled him up. Gordon hit the Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Poffo jumped on the apron and touched Lethal on the shoulder, which turned him back into the Black Machismo. Lethal hit free Hail to the King elbows for a near fall. Gordon kicked out like Hulk Hogan and hulked up. Gordon hit the big boot with a springboard sling blade. Gordon hit a Samoan drop, standing shooting star press and twisting moonsault for a near fall. Gordon attempted a springboard, but Lethal caught him with the cutter. Lethal hit the Lethal injection to retain the ROH World Championship. Lethal and Gordon shook hands after the match. Bully Ray ran out and attacked both with a chain. Poffo jumped in the ring, but Ray gave him a low blow. Ray then pulled out a table from underneath the ring. Colt Cabana ran out and gave Ray a spear. Cabana, Gordon, and Lethal then gave Ray the Shield powerbomb through the table. After that match, we seen Kenny Omega defeat Pentagon Jr. The crowd was hot for this match and standing from the start. Pentagon was firmly in control early in the match. Omega caught Pentagon with a Hurricanrana and attempted a suicide dive, but Pentagon nailed him with the sling blade. Pentagon caught Omega with a flip drive onto the floor. They fought around the ringside. Pentagon caught Omega with a power slam on the floor. Omega attempted a moonsault, but Pentagon got his knees up. Omega fought back and hit a springboard crossbody to the floor. Omega attempted the V-trigger, but Pentagon countered with a super kick. Omega hit the Snapdragon suplex and attempted the One-Winged Angel, but Penta countered into the backstabber for a 2 count. Omega attempted a superplex, but Penta countered into a double foot stomp for a near fall. Omega hit the V-trigger, but Penta yelled, "Cyril Mito." Omega hit a power bomb and a third V-trigger. Penta fought back and hit the Pentagon driver for a very near close fall. The two traded chops on the apron. Pentagon nailed Omega with a sick-looking package pile driver on the apron. Omega recovered and hit a spinning package pile driver. Omega attempted the one-winged angel, but Penta countered and snapped the arm. Pentagon hit a second package piledriver for a very close 2 count. Omega rocked Pentagon with the V-trigger and inverted Hurricanrana for another 2 count. Omega hit the V-trigger and the one-winged angel for the win. Pentagon was clutching his arm on the mat and the lights went out. They came back on and Pentagon jumped Omega. He gave him the code breaker and took off his mask to reveal, yes, Y2J, Chris Jericho. The fans popped huge for Jericho. He told Omega that he's going to see him on the Jericho Cruise. Jericho ran over to the announce table and pushed it. Khalees fell over. This was an awesome match. A really amazing match. And the post-match angle, I gotta say, was incredible. It was amazing to see Chris Jericho there. I wasn't expecting it to happen. It was definitely a hell of a surprise. And I can't wait to see these two square off again. The next match, Okada defeated Marty Scurll. They started out with some mat wrestling. Scurll rocked Okada with 2 European uppercuts and nailed him with a super kick from the apron. Scurll rocked Okada with a suicide dive. Scurll worked over Okada's arm, but Okada fought back with a flapjack. They fought around ringside, and Okada nailed Scurll with a DDT on the floor. Scurll tried to fight back and hit Okada with chops. Okada laughed and knocked Scurll down. Okada caught Scurll with an uppercut, but Scurll nailed a brainbuster. Scurll attempted a pile driver, but Okada countered for a near fall. They fought on the top turnbuckle. Scurll wouldn't go down and nailed a superplex. They traded a series of pin attempts. Okada attempted the tombstone, but Scurll reversed into a DDT. Scurll snapped Okada's fingers. Okada fought back and attempted the Rainmaker, but Scurll countered into a cross-faced chicken wing. Okada broke free, but Scurll reapplied the hold. Scurll super-kicked Okada, and the referee went down. The referee, of course, red shoes. Scurll grabbed the umbrella. Okada attempted the Rainmaker, but Scurll blocked it with the umbrella. Scurll hit the Rainmaker for a close near fall. Okada hit the Rainmaker, but couldn't make the cover. Scurll spit and slapped Okada in the face. Okada then hit 2 Rainmakers for the win. This was another awesome match, especially towards the end. And in our main event of All In, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Kota Ibushi defeated Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito. Mysterio came out dressed like Marvel's Wolverine, which was such an awesome costume. The Bucks used a double drop kick on Bandito. Phoenix came in on fire and caught Nick with a cutter for a near fall. Ibushi and Mysterio got tagged in and the crowd erupted. Mysterio caught Ibushi with a Hurricanrana. Ibushi missed the kick and the standing moonsault. Phoenix rocked Matt with a super kick. Bandito missed a standing shooting star press. Ibushi hit a standing moonsault into double knees. Nick hit a flip dive to the floor and Ibushi hit a moonsault to the other side. Mysterio hit a huge moonsault onto everyone. Phoenix hit a twisting plancha, taking out everyone. Bandito hit a twisting crossbody, wiping out everyone. Matt ran and hit a huge dive off the stage. Bandito hit a triple Hurricanrana, taking out all 3 Golden Elite members, which was so cool to see. Mysterio attempted the 619, but Matt countered into the tombstone. They set up for the Meltzer driver, but Phoenix walked across the rope and took out Ibushi, which was really awesome. Phoenix and Bandito hit suicide dives to the floor. Mysterio hit a frog splash on Matt for a close near fall. The Bucks hit 3 super kicks in a row on Mysterio, Bandito, and Phoenix. The Bucks and Ibushi hit more bang for your buck for a very close near fall. The finish came when the Bucks hit the Meltzer driver on Bandito for the win. And then after that win, the pay-per-view immediately went off the air. A lot of people thought that they ran out of time. This was an awesome main event with a lot of insane moves that capped off an amazing pay-per-view. So there is your results for All In. My opinion, I didn't get to see all of the pay-per-view. I seen certain matches here and there. I gotta say, this was an amazing, amazing show that Cody Rhodes and everyone in the Bullet Club put together. And I think, I'm not really for sure, but I think that this is the first time in a long time that someone has sold out an arena for pro wrestling since Vince McMahon. So that is really, really historic, and that's really incredible that someone like Cody Rhodes done something like that. So big congratulations to him. Big congratulations out to the Bullet Club. Big congratulations out to everybody that performed at All In. They went out there and they put on some of the best matches we have ever seen. I gotta say, I really enjoyed seeing Cody Rhodes win the NWA World's title. I knew for a long time it was going to happen, but actually seeing it happen is just so cool, and it just really makes me proud to love pro wrestling. And this show right here really makes me proud to love pro wrestling. Everyone, like I said, done a hell of a job. They went out there, pardon my French, they busted their ass out there for everybody, and man oh man, it was just such a great show. My favorite match was, of course, the Nick Aldis Cody Rhodes match for the NWA title. I also enjoyed the Kenny Omega Pentagon Jr. match. I loved seeing Chris Jericho. That was a big surprise to me. I didn't think that Jericho would be there. For all of you that thought CM Punk was going to be there, he wasn't. Sorry. But either way, it was still a great pay-per-view. That main event was awesome as well. I'm still trying to recover from it. So there you go. The results of All In. We'll see what happens in Ring of Honor. We'll see what happens in New Japan. We'll see what the world thinks about it on Tuesday. I'm going to go and take Labor Day off. I think you can start a "You Deserve It" chant. I need a little bit of a break. So, yeah, I'm going to take Labor Day off. I will be back on Tuesday, so check back Tuesday for another Jamin John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices. Also, big shout out to everybody listening to this on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Stewie Family is the name. Subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/JaminJohn. Thank you so much for listening to the All In Live results. I'm John Caldwell. I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great Labor Day weekend, everybody.